The drift corridor spits the quiet compass into a field of the dead. Thousands of vessels hang frozen in the void, funeral barges, tomb stations, memorial platforms, arranged in a vast spiral that catches the light of a dying red dwarf. This is the Mourning Fields, where 17 civilizations who never knew each other existed chose to bury their beloved. Index speaks through the cockpit speakers, voice calm as always. 17 species, 43,000 years of burials. Zero overlap in their histories, their languages, their biologies. Yet they all chose this exact point in space. The cartographer watches the graveyard slowly rotate. Coincidence, they think, is a word for patterns we haven't yet understood. The quiet compass glides between monuments to the forgotten. A crystalline obelisk taller than a mountain, inscribed in a language that died before Earth formed its first oceans. A sphere of woven metal containing the ashes of an entire world. The cartographer catalogs each one, adding them to maps no one may ever read. Then the pattern emerges. The cartographer notices it first in the funeral barges. Their prows all face the same direction. They adjust their scan parameters. The tomb stations, too, the memorial spheres. Every vessel with a bow, every structure with a front, all oriented toward the same invisible point in the black. The quiet compass approaches the largest derelict, a ship the archive calls the Exodus vessel. 3 kilometers of tarnished hull, engines cold for 8,000 years. Not a funeral barge, a colony ship, built for the living, filled with the dead. The cartographer suits up and steps into the airlock. Inside, the silence has texture. The cartographer's boots disturb dust that hasn't moved in millennia. Their helmet lamp cuts through the dark, illuminating rows of cryogenic pods, all open, all empty. This ship was meant to carry thousands to safety. It carried them nowhere. The cartographer finds the bridge frozen in its final moment. Navigation charts still glow on dead screens, powered by emergency cells that have somehow lasted 8,000 years. The destination is marked in symbols their suit can barely translate. Beyond the threshold, toward the still. In the ship's mausoleum deck, the cartographer discovers what became of the passengers. Memory stones, hundreds of them, stacked in careful rows. Final testimonies, final prayers. They pick one up and the crystal warms in their gloved hands. A voice speaks of the arrival, of running, of hope that somewhere beyond the threshold there might be shelter from what was coming. The cartographer plays stone after stone, different species, different centuries, the same story. They knew something was coming. They tried to run. They all headed toward the same point in space, a region beyond the edge of mapped territory. Not one of them made it. The engines failed. The crews died. The ships drifted back to join the graveyard they'd hoped to escape. Back aboard the quiet compass, Index runs the calculations. 47 civilizations mentioned the arrival. 17 sent ships toward the same destination. The trajectories converge on an uncharted sector beyond the threshold, a region the precursors' drift corridors deliberately avoid. Whatever is there, even the ancients didn't want to find it. The cartographer stands at the viewport, watching the Mourning Fields slowly recede. 17 species tried to flee toward something, or away from something. The answer lies beyond the threshold, in space that hasn't been mapped because no one who went there came back. They begin plotting a course. Index interrupts. Proximity alert. Another vessel in the drift corridor behind them, running dark, no transponder, no lights, but matching their heading exactly. The cartographer stares at the sensor display, at the ghost following their path. In all their years of mapping dead worlds, they have never encountered another ship. Until now.